So what is it that propelled? It's a great film, and we got to make sure we tell viewers how to link to it. But what is it that propelled you to kind of look at the military from this angle?
I think for a lot of us who have been witnessing the ecocidal nature of U.S. imperialism and the destruction that it brings around the world, it's been so obvious for so long that when you destroy landscapes, when you mass murder people, those toxins, the carcinogens that are unleashed from the constant bombing, the pulverization of concrete, this carbon dense material that we've seen in Gaza, it's so obvious, Chris. I've always been an environmentalist. And so, as an anti imperialist journalist, it's always just been such an obvious link. And I was always so curious why no one had synthesized this material. And not just the emissions, but the totality of this gargantuan subject, because it's not just emissions, it's really everything. Every base is a story of not only legacy contamination, but ongoing contamination with the waves of militarization that we see today. So I was really upset that this wasn't a mainstream issue, that this wasn't incorporated in the narratives with mainstream environmentalism. And instead, you saw people like Elizabeth Warren talking about greening a global military empire, which we know is completely unsustainable and uninhabitable, with the viability of a planet that sustains human life.
Well, and they don't.
All right, Shalom. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Onto the life foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. In case you didn't pick it up, it's how the U.S. military poisoned people abroad. So basically, she was getting into the fact that, well, which we already know that Babylon the Great, which is America, is responsible for all the poison that's going on the earth. By industrial means, especially when it came down to, when it comes down to the food, air, water, all these things. Yeah, they're truly responsible for everything that goes wrong. But she just said something that made perfect sense, which is scriptural, by the way. Is that the mere fact of the bombings, not even the nukes yet, there's the mere fact of the bombings is poisoning everything. And they're showing that they are the evil empire that is spoken of. Because they destroy everything abroad and care less what happens afterwards, the environment. Now, they do testing with nukes on a day-to-day, not a day, not a day-to-day, but they do test nukes, and they usually do it underground. That's how you got the movie, the movie with the hillbillies, and then they tell you it was somewhere in the desert, in America, and they had a taste of human flesh and everything like that, and it was kind of mutated because the American military, before they go let off shots on any other person, they destroy their own environment. Even whatchamacallit, another prime example, Agent Orange that was taking place in Vietnam, which Agent Orange, if I'm not mistaken, is it not I think it's anthrax, but they dropped it on civilians, and what did it end up doing? It destroyed many people. So not only are they destroying people, destroying every single environment around them, and she pointed that out. All right, and a couple of scriptures that come in mind real quick. Jeremiah, oh yeah, I was already there. Jeremiah 51:25 says, "Behold, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, who destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain." So this destroying mountain, this destroying government, is truly destroying the earth as we speak. Let's not forget about the HART program. The HART program causes earthquakes, causes abnormal weather patterns, which now is making the world more, is intensifying. They call it climate change, and first it was global warming, then they call it climate change. So they're doing all these things, these abnormal storms. A regular storm will come around and just dump a whole bunch of water. It's just a regular storm, you know. They said the before they went into Venezuela, before they went with the earthquake in Venezuela, the sky turned red. That was part of the HARP program that they have. So all these things is happening, and this man's responsible for it. They're truly solely responsible for it. And their voyage or their journey of total global control, they're destroying their own. They're destroying the very world that we must share. Okay, this is why the Lord is going to get rid of them. Isaiah 14:12, it says, "Art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning?" And Lucifer means the king of Babylon. All right, what does it mean by falling from heaven, from the rulership position? They're not fit to be rulers. Here's the elites whose sole responsibility is to turn the world upside down. All right, like I always say, they terraform the world. Like when you watch The Man of Steel, great film. Well, the action was great. And Zod, he didn't experience the Earth, but he was going to terraform the Earth to be as Krypton. Now, if he had left the Earth the way it was, they could have been gods. He didn't have to terraform the Earth to make it comfortable for everybody, but he wanted to do that. The same thing these people are doing. They literally terraform the Earth. They're destroying the natural resources. I've seen an actual video. Let me go into that. And it was basically saying Edomites was complaining about their harvesting and how the things that they planted is not coming out the way it's supposed to come out. Let me get that real quick. I just stumbled upon that one, this particular video. Let me see if I can get that real quick. No, not that one. Esau's fed up.
Does not have anything to hide. But we do have something called dignity, human dignity. Act.
To enslave the people I want. But I can tell you, we're working on AI data farm for
France. Only about 10% of the population in any given environment, whether it's a classroom, a work environment, in society, 10% of the population is the problem. Not the 90% who are doing their best every day to feed their families, go to work.
And that's how they always address things. They addressed it as the collective fault. It's your fault as the people that's causing all these terrible things on the earth, when in actuality is the people that's in a position of power. That's when the Lord makes his return, he's going to destroy the people, but he's really aiming after the elites that really cause all this problem. You have islands of plastic, islands of garbage, okay? Plastic that cannot be destroyed. That's polluting the freaking ocean. You have a whole bunch of land. You throw everybody into concentrated cities. Land that's not being used. So the 90% or the elites of the society is the cause of everything that goes wrong.
Have some dignity, not commit any crimes. Those cameras are not for the 90%. Please think about this. Please start using your voices here.
So this is like a whole bunch of Edomites making their statements. Let me see if I can find them.
Some nutrients and
no, this is this boy girl thingy.
So, just made sense. We're all in trouble.
So if you're a home gardener, I have a question. Are you seeing weird shit happen with what you've planted? Because I am. And my sister is. And some friends of ours that have a garden have been telling us some interesting stories about what's happening. Because we've done a couple of raised beds. And I'm out and I do my watering. I've given them some nutrients and some fertilizer, and everything was going great. I had like 5 or 6 green peppers that were coming up looking absolutely beautiful. And then we had a big rainstorm that popped up out of the blue, and I'm going, well, it's because of the humidity, right? And the next day I walk out and every single one of those green peppers were yellowed, beginning to rot, and pretty much dead and useless. I had a cucumber start to grow that was this big, bulbous on one end, and it ended up being like a baseball and then had a little nub on it. Friends of ours are reporting that their gardens are failing. My sister and my family plant a garden every year. They've had to redo beans 3 times. And what they're getting also in some of the squash and zucchinis are warped. They look more like gourds. So if this is happening in small gardens, can you imagine what's happening in the larger ones? But my question is, why after a rainstorm that just blew through out of the blue, did suddenly every one of my green peppers die overnight? What's going on? If you're not paying attention to this, friends, to what's going on with food in general right now, well, people are starting to pay attention.
And why? Because the rulers that's in power is the cause of all these things. All right? They're the cause of all this. So because what they have done, the Lord is going to destroy them. Art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? And they're in the position of heaven. They're the ones that run this world. It is a quiet part out loud. No matter what you do as an individual, you will make no impact as much as impact that these elites would do. All right, the Rothschilds alone, what it said, 500 trillion can get America out of debt. All right, cure world hunger. Okay, they could do all the right things, but they refuse to do it. All right, and they are the light bearers. They don't care about the people, so they're going to be cut down from their heavenly state. That's what the scriptures is talking about. How that cut down to the ground, which did is weaken the nations. And that just prime example, bombing certain areas, doing certain things. You weaken the nation, you weaken the ground, you weaken everything. All right. The earth itself, yeah, it is a battlefield, but it's being poisoned by the same people that runs the shit, and they do this deliberately. All right. It's not like they put certain things in a bomb to aid the earth. Nah. It also destroys the environment. But that has said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High, which are the stars of the Most High. Is literally talking about Israel. They said in their heart, like, they're going to go exceed the Lord's chosen people. All right, the true rulers of this earth. And it says, I will sit upon the mountain of congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So they in a position of playing the role of the Most High. That's why they got this God complex. All right, the Lord gives out fruits and vegetables for free. He put a purchase price on it. Not only does he put a purchase price on fruits and vegetables that they can't even have seeds because you end up going to them. So they want to run the market where they just have all the good fruits and the vegetables, and you got to pay umpteenth money. I'm gonna keep saying it. There was a video circulating WEF, which is the World Economic Forum, man stating that he could see the future near where people will have to pay thousands of dollars to get sunlight on demand, which is for free. That's playing the role of the Most High. All right, you pay, you and they pay, and then they'll give. If you don't have, you're not getting it. That's how that works. Yet that should be brought down to hell to the size of the pit. So although they have this great technology, they got this great run in this world, they're gonna be brought down to nothing. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? So in the kingdom of heaven, they're gonna see the Edomites in their true state, and they're gonna be shocked. The man that used to wear a three-piece suit, shaved face, shaved back, you know, all of a sudden he's gonna look like a wild man. All right, going back to the degenerate form, because they're gonna lack intelligence. The Lord's gonna take that what He gave to them. And they're gonna realize that power, that knowledge that they got was from the heavens, and the Lord's gonna take that from them. Those demons are gonna flee from them. They're no longer gonna be able to deceive the world, to have the world believe that they are this upright people. It says that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners. So this is how to make the world a wilderness, by bombing the shit out of everything. And after they bomb everything that they do bomb, the aftermath of the bombing, the poisoning of the air, the more poison to the air, more poison to the water, to the food, the fruits and vegetables, the ground, and so forth. The annihilation of people. This is this man's blessing. All right. And the headquarters of all of it is Babylon the Great, America. This is why Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is going to take this place out. Take this out for good. Then the earth is going to reform itself. Because the Lord is going to bombard this place with the same weapons that they threaten the world. All right. That weapon that was granted to them from the Most High is a two-edged sword. Yeah, they bully the world into submission, but now everybody's catching on to them. And it is the same tool that's going to revitalize or refresh the earth. When land is going to be synced and new lands is going to be formed. All right. And the one place that everybody is familiar with, Babylon the Great, will be never inhabited again. Who knows how and America is bigger, but it's not the biggest continent on the face of the earth. So it's gonna be like probably like a black spot on the earth. All right, and the Lord's gonna make it in a prime example. Ultimate destruction. So yeah, they're responsible for making the world as we know it and form it as a wilderness, a destruction. So I don't make this that long. With that being said, shalom to the elect. Oh, matter of fact, one more scripture. Revelation 6, two more, 6 and 4. It says, and there went out a horse that was red, and power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and was given unto him a great sword. And that's the blessing that Esau was granted. Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and that wrath is come. And the time of the dead that they should be judged, which is talking about the other nations, right? And then shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth. So with that being said, shalom to the elect of the nations. Shalom.